Hey y'all, Indy here from the Conscious Club Podcast, the #1 Vulfpeck podcast. This week, Tori and I cover a bunch of stuff in the Vulf sphere, like Vulfpeck selling out MSG. Didn't know it'd be controversial, but it is. We're also going over Sam Wilkes' contributions to Shaka Khan's new release, like Sugar, debating whether it was a sample used by the Fatback band from the 1970s, which sounds awfully similar. We'll get to it later. Also, we have some Scary Pockets controversy, some Snarky Puppy controversy. It's a controversial week here on the Conscious Club Podcast. Hey y'all, Indy here from the Conscious Club Podcast. Welcome to the Conscious Club Podcast 23. 23? Getting up there.
23.
Thinking we're breaking through the ceiling, much like the starting line here. Okay. Welcome everybody.
Welcome.
This is the Conscious Club Podcast, a podcast about Vulfpeck. Actually, I think we can say the #1 podcast about Vulfpeck. Mm-hmm. That's a valid statement.
Valid.
Because there's only one. Right?
The one and only.
All right. If you haven't listened to the show before and you're new, welcome.
Welcome.
I want to start by saying that this is a podcast exclusively about Vulfpeck. Well, not exclusively, and the ancillary members, mm-hmm. and the influences by which Jack is beaming his art out into the world. Mm-hmm. So it's a place where we come and look at the week's funniness, the week's weirdness, the week's controversies, and we talk about it. So welcome. And all I want to ask is that we're not asking for much. I just want to ask, if you like the show, tag somebody, give it to your friend who likes Vulfpeck, give it to a like-minded person, mm-hmm. and that's all we ask.
And maybe subscribe.
And subscribe, yeah, or do whatever you want. If you like it, show some love, right? Well, it's been a heated week, Tori. Heated week. There's been political, racial tensions. There's been there's some controversy that got sparked.
True.
Okay.
True.
And I think it bears talking about.
Well, how you used bear, and that's an animal, but we'll get into it.
Oh, is that my animal spirit? Oh, no, my spirit animal.
Oh my
Animal
goodness.
spirit. No. We're gonna learn about a whole lot of stuff today, like what, just new releases, new Shaka Khan. I guess. Well, was it released this year or last year?
No, it was this year.
Okay,
it's new.
Just new.
Yeah, it's new.
Great Vulfiness. The circle squashes 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
Vulf.
2 degrees.
I'm glad we did this on a Saturday.
Same.
Saturday morning. We usually do these shows on Friday evenings after work, but we got some new info. We woke up to a new day, new Vulf day. That had we done the show yesterday, I would have been like, dang,
yeah,
that would have been good.
Now we have breaking news on the Conscious Club podcast.
News on the Conscious Club podcast. Vulfpeck has sold out MSG.
Gas.
Oh, and we got a new post this morning from the fearless leader himself, Mr. Jack Stratton. Well, I assume it'd be Jack Stratton controlling his own Vulfpeck Instagram. Jack going into the booty a little here.
Apparently.
I have to say.
Yes.
This is a...
September 28th in New York City, the Vulfpeck performs at a sold-out Madison Square Garden.
Tori.
It feels good.
Yeah, I know. I saw him too. He's over there.
Right.
You saw him.
So this is for that song?
I'm assuming it's probably going to be for their opener. Yeah. I mean, it would make sense. And I saw him on the right.
He's on the right.
think so. See? That must be him. In the red.
I would hope it is. I don't know if it's just like he found a song and like that was the same BPM. And just
maybe.
like popped it in
Well, he
there.
credited all the dancers though in it. Like how, if he just found this random
Right.
video, how would he know all these dancers?
You're right. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Jack just provides mystery into our lives.
I mean, we'll probably see. Sure there'll be like a live stream or two.
Right.
So we'll see.
Right. Oh, hopefully. We should do a live show with the live stream. We should we should rent a place out, get some LA Vulf members to come out. We'll pack the Whole Foods plant-based restaurant that we set up at and do a live show at. Wouldn't that be great? We have a Whole Foods plant-based live stream for Vulf. Anyway, well, that is weeks and months to come. We're not going to do it.
Weeks, not months.
No. We're not going to do it for MSG. We don't have. We needed more time for that. It's in like 20 days. So, wanted to say that I felt proud of Vulfpeck today. Now I don't know. There's been a little bit of back and forth. Our boy Danny Wood. I could say Danny Wood now, I think, because it's no longer PAC member, because he posts on the YouTube video, which is public, so
yeah.
I could say Danny Wood.
I'm
Danny
sure
Wood, we
mind.
love you. It's at Yukeski or something.
Something like that.
It's
Yuski?
Yuski? I'm
Yusaki?
sorry.
Or Yusaki?
I'll pop it up on the screen. But thank you. He posted this morning. Our boy sold out MSG, which spawned 24 comments. Contested, heated debate going on in here, whether it's true or not. So PAC member Brad said they didn't, though. Tons of tickets left. Definitely not resale tickets. LOL. And then Danny.
Me.
The gift.
Shady boots.
It's when we're at the store and I say no ice cream.
That is me,
Yeah,
and I can't get
yeah.
ice cream for sure.
Zach replying to Brad, tons may be an overstatement, but whatevs. there are whole rows. Brad says that there are whole rows from row 16 up available into 222 and 13. Not great seats. I'm interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely calling it out.
Yeah, it's being now. Jack couldn't say that if they didn't, though, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't. Ooh, PAC member Sean. They couldn't sell out the Greek in Berkeley. Brian responds, bands, even famous ones, are much more regional than people think. Green Ski is Midwestern.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Also, there are way more bluegrass and jam band fans on the East Coast than the West. Interesting. And then Sean responds, I'll take blanket statement for $500.
That's good, actually. To be honest, though, like, there could be stuff that's been sold.
Stuff?
Okay, stop. No, there could be seats and rows that have been given to other ticketing sites or to big groups, or like, I'm sure it's not just one ticketing site. So I'm sure those are being sold on another site. And so those are shown as taken on the other sites. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I'm just thinking of like, when you said group, I'm thinking of like some Wall Street, like stockbrokers, a building of them.
A
And they're
corporate,
like, we're
like,
all getting Vulfpeck. And they just throw down like 50 G's. And like, that's how Vulfpeck got sold out.
That's such a mood.
Because some money hungry.
All the NASDAQ guys.
Bringing products to market people. Just like, we're going, we're doing it, we're dropping it for Vulfpeck.
No, but like, I know, for example, like I'm sure there's way more other companies than like Ticketmaster. Like, I'm sure there's at least like three to four companies that do MSG ticketing. So like, it could be seats per ticketing website. So you'd have to check out every ticketing website to see, like, you know,
SeatGeek.
Yeah, to see like seats. What seats have been sold and stuff, like
StubHub.
And I'm sure there's stuff that isn't being shown just on this one website.
Desiree, Wonder how much of their money is actually going to them and how much is going to Ticketmasters and all their reselling websites. Another one here. The band organization gets a portion of these fees. 2. Ticketmaster is being paid to the bad guy to be the bad guy. Okay. The response here. I work in the music industry, and trust me, the Ticketmasters. That's a very.
Yeah.
It's grammatically awkward. Trust me, Ticketmasters gets a lot, and again, they resell the tickets on their own website, and this whole area is locked, sold out 2 seconds after the tickets go on sale. And to put a great exclamation,
Gary is me.
Punctuation mark on the end here, Gary is Ticketmaster is Satan. I refuse to use them.
They really are,
feel the
though.
same
Like,
way.
I love Gary. Like, that is a true statement. Like, Ticketmaster websites, like, the taxes and all the fees and added crap they put on, it's usually like $40 to $60 worth of just fees. And like the tickets are only like sometimes only $40 $40, and then it's like $80 with all the fees. It's like such bullshit.
Yeah, it's stupid because like it's just a tax you have to pay. It's if you want to go, you got to pay this big company that's not even like really musically oriented at all. They're just
a
a
ticketing
front for like they're just a building. Yeah. Like how much does it cost to take my credit card information? You know what I mean? It's just like when you're at a theme park and everything's like $20.
I mean, they do have to have a lot of customer service people though, because of issues with ticketing and things being
but still, it's relatively low overhead, I would assume. It's just servers and support staff.
Yeah, and it could be outsourced too. It doesn't have to be in the U.S. So it can be cheaply done in like India and like Singapore and stuff like that.
You know, outsourcing here on the Conscious Club podcast.
It's actually, I don't recommend it because they don't a lot of times pay people livable wages when they do outsource things to like India and other places in Mexico. Like they don't pay you a livable wage. So I don't actually recommend outsourcing, but I'm saying that.
She's going on the record, y'all.
Going on the record.
Admin Alexa. Not really sold out, but the sentiment feels really good. So we're getting mixed messages here. If Jack is saying, if the official Vulfpeck Instagram, by the way, follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, at the Conscious Club podcast. But we're getting mixed messages. Jack is saying it's sold out and that, you know, they did it. They hit their goal. But then all these comments kind of pointing the other way. And also on Ticketmaster, you could still buy tickets. So it's... Alexa's kind of right. I don't know if we're just being... If it's technically sold out by means of which, like, Ticketmaster says that, you know, if StubHub buys 1,000 seats... that counts as a ticket being sold, even though that StubHub hasn't sold them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think probably MSG, like the people who do the venue and stuff like that, probably reached out to Jack and was like, we sold out. So that's probably where he's getting his information from. But as far as...
Right. It would be an official type of like email or call from MSG.
But when it comes to us being able to buy tickets, like I'm sure it still looks like there's some... available because of the fact that people companies pre-buy the tickets and then resell them. Right. So
I think I have the perfect thing to top off this MSG situation that we're going on here. I learned a little ditty and I didn't practice it much. I'm sorry, guys,
oh Lord.
Let's do it. Let's go in to the next segment.
Okay. Oh no.
No.
Oh, there we go. Good job, baby. He learned it like he said on the last podcast.
Yeah, I learned it like the 10 minutes before starting.
I know. I heard you in here.
And I was going, fuck, shit. God damn it. They're so good. What's with all this chromatic bullshit, black key, blah. And then I was just like... Fuck.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
Hitting the rocks on the Conscious Club podcast 23, but we don't care. We persevere like Corey Wong.
Good work.
All right, I'll put it away for now.
Good work. All right, so Corey Wong's up next on the docket here.
Yes, we opened with it. It's the Corey Wong starting line feat Emily C. Browning. It is awesome. It is very Corey Wong-y. It's very Vulf, the Vulf visual aesthetic that's translated into Corey's lone language.
Yeah.
Which I love to see because like he can pull it off, unlike non-Vulf adjacent members that are like trying to be Vulfy.
Totally.
Corey takes it to his own level, his own Jackian. I love saying Jackian.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know you do.
And you tried to remember last time you tried to do Fagian.
Oh, Fagian.
Fagian.
I genuinely apologize for that, but we move past things in this life, and you know we all make mistakes. We're human. But back to Corey Wong here. I just at work, one of the guys at work was talking about Vulfpeck. I was like, "You listen to Vulfpeck? Vulfpeck? Vulfpeck." He's like, "You listen to Corey Wong? I just heard that motivational music for the syncopated soul." And I'm like, "This is a guy at work, like who sits in the back in the office and like never talk to him. It's great."
Did you tell him about the podcast?
I told him that I do a podcast about Vulfpeck, but he didn't. He wasn't very interested. Nick, if you ever find this, I love that he does not care at all. But yeah, this video is awesome. It's very entertaining, even though it's just a iPhone pan to the and like I love it when she says ceiling. Corey pans to the ceiling. It's
cute.
It's very eloquent.
Yeah.
It's very. I love the masking. I love the moving image.
Do you think he works with Minnesota-based singers?
I mean, judging on her boots, she's probably from the Midwest, so I would assume. No, maybe not. I'm going to interject here with contradicting my own logic here.
Okay.
I think Corey gets whoever would be the best for the song included. And if they just happen to be from the Midwest, it's much easier to collaborate. Yeah. So I think I saved myself there. But Corey Wong doing some incredible work this year, and it's only the beginning. So yeah. By the way, I want to thank our fans. I want to do this earlier, but the little list is off to my side here, and I've forgotten to mention it. But yes, if you like the podcast, share it with a like-minded friend. And we want to. Oh yeah, you Sakri.
Danny.
I should have just looked to the left, and it was right there. Yeah,
I love
Danny
how it was
Wood,
right there, and you forgot.
You Sakri. At YouScree on Instagram. Ella Carroll, thanks for the engagement.
Oh, yeah.
Leanne Katari. Katari. Nick is in Paris on Instagram. At Believe in Number City. I think that's a band. Believe in Number City on Instagram. At The North 41. I think that was a band as well. At Ice T Blaster. That is... the honorable mention commenter on our YouTube. And our great buddy Adon at Adon37 on Instagram. He is one of my friends from college, from internships, from working together, and appeared on episode 10.
He was on 2 episodes.
He was on 2 episodes. Episode 10, which is a great episode, it's called The History of Jack Stratton to the Layman. So it's basically, if you don't know anything about Jack Stratton, you can get a little good of a firm foundation on TCCP number 10. But another thing that popped up this morning that I saw was Lewis Cole live in Lowlands 2019. So I want to give a precursor here. I know. Sorry, this coffee's getting me.
Oh, whoa, gross. Nasty. Okay.
But yes, new Lewis Cole live.
What the fuck is this website?
Lowlands. It's a European website.
I don't like it. Is he European or is he just pretending to be?
I think he's from LA.
That's what I thought too. He's American.
Let me.
That's not how you spell his name. It's Louis, L-O-U-S. U-I-S.
You are.
And you didn't even
incredible.
spell his last name right.
Cold.
For fuck's sake.
I'm holding a coffee and hosting a show here.
Then don't
okay?
hold the goddamn coffee.
You're right.
Lord sakes.
He's in Nowhere. He's in Nowhere. Who Nowhere opened for them at Red Rocks.
Okay.
Not particularly a fan.
English born, it says.
English born.
Right here. Go to his Wiki.
Oh, Louis Cole Wick. Sorry. You get a little
hitting the
preoccupied.
fucking rocks.
We're not hitting the rocks. We're in zone 2.
Ew, this is not him.
Oh, that's not him. Let's move on.
Go to Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yes, Nowhere. Nowhere is stylized as Nowhere in caps.
He studied in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah. Louis Cole studied in Los Angeles, graduating from Jazz Studies program at USC in 2009. Became good friends with fellow musician Jack Conte, who is the CEO of Patreon and is in the Scary Pockets, the Jack-esque looking man in the Scary Pockets, right? Who's always kind of like hunched over the Hurley.
Everything makes sense.
Yeah. Both composed, recorded some songs which are present on Conte's YouTube channel. Is it Conte? I don't want.
Probably Conte.
I'm gonna call it JC.
It's either.
We got CT,
JC.
we got JC here. Conte suggested that Cole start releasing his music online. So, I want to say, I want this roundabout a long way around what I was trying to say was, I don't care for Louis Cole's style. I know it is technically proficient. I know that he's a great musician. Not my cup of tea though. Not my cup of tea. But it's undoubtedly.
Is this just a new live concert or what?
Yeah, it's not. We're definitely not going to watch the whole 20 minutes of it, but just want to get a little snippet. And also, this is kind of like I wanted to pause there. Fuck you, you fucking fuck shirt. That is kind of what is it? When a veer away from Vulf. You don't really hear much cussing
There's
from Vulf.
no cussing from
There's
Vulf.
no profanity, no kind of negativity whatsoever. So it's interesting to see how
he's like the villain of the circle.
I like that.
Yeah. He's the Disney villain of the Vulf circle. This guy.
That works so well. I love it. Right.
He looks like every guy that went to art school with me. It's really gross with like that nasty blonde mustache.
Yeah. Cheeto pants.
Those.
What were you gonna say?
So those wraparound glaucoma glasses are too much.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. He's on drums now. What is this? It gets funkier? Like, it's good music.
I just don't care for his personality. That's all.
Right, yeah.
And her
Yeah.
shirt's inside out.
It's like, I wouldn't hang out with a guy like that.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But great music. Great music.
Yeah.
Great music.
Like there's levels of obscure, and like Jack is still on the approachable end of obscure, and then this is on the like.
It's a great point.
This is like the super obscure end. Uber obscure end.
Obscure end.
And also, I don't care for the whole American people trying to pretend to be like European weird, like German / Swedish / whatever. It's kind of weird. I'll check my bank account. This is a bop though.
I'll check my bank account. I'll check my bank account.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll check my bank account.
I'm surprised this works. You know what I mean? It doesn't work for me, but I'm surprised this works for people who like it. You know? Throwing shade on people who like Lewis Call. It's what we do here on the Couches Club
it's
podcast. I mean, it's rhythmically it's there. You know, it's
he's
basically
not
it gets
bad.
funkier, right? He definitely is the perfect guy to drum on that song. Like
Yeah.
I guess like it's not only just the music of it, but the connotation that comes along with it gets funkier. Calls for Lewis Cole, I think. Which I think Jack is great at seeing that because like I think there are songs that I could produce in the future decade or so that would be better to have him on the track than not. And I think that I think being able to see that talent and go, that would be perfect here is an admirable quality to have.
Yeah.
And that, you know, Jack is he's a selector, he's a storyteller, he's a teacher, he's a pointer to the icebergs.
Correct.
He's a pointer
The tips
to
of the icebergs.
the tips, just the tip. Just the tip. Where'd your mind go on that one? But Lewis Call live on Lowlands 2019. Look it up on some English website or some British or some European website.
It is what it is.
Also, really cool thing this week was Vinicius's post, pack member Vinicius's. I really didn't think I could handle that much funk. Shaka Khan like Sugar new video. So what I wanted to highlight here was that people were going off in the comments section on Sam Wilkes, whom I know you guys are gonna wince that I've never heard of this name before, but this is what the podcast is about. It's like we're not experts on Vulf. I should put this at the beginning of the show. I did a couple shows ago. I need to write an intro because we're not experts.
No.
We're trying to learn. We love Vulfpeck. We want to figure out. We want to go into that dark little corner and shine a light on it because Jack pointed to the room it's in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Sam Wilkes, never heard of him before this week, but I wanted to do some diving into who he is a little bit. People are saying on the pack that no idea that Sam Wilkes was on the bass on this track. Wait, Sam is on bass? Dang, did not know that. Danny Wood, what's up? James, Sam Wilkes isn't playing bass on the track. It's a bass sample from the Fat Black Band, like Rob
Fat
de Boer
Back.
said.
Fat back.
The Fat Back.
You said fat black.
I said Fat Black?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought it was...
No, the Fat Back
sorry.
Band. Again, canceled.
Faggian and the Fat Black
Band.
I'm so sorry, guys. We're here to learn, and sometimes you get stuff wrong, you know?
We do.
But yeah. The fact is that we're here, we're doing it. It's another week. But pack member James says Sam Wilkes isn't playing on the bass on this track. It's a sample from the Fat Back Band. But Sam Wilkes is playing bass on Hello Happiness by Shaka Khan. Now, I would play both these songs, but I would get a copyright claim.
Yeah.
Let's not do this. But what I want to do for just a quick second is play the sample of it.
Oh, okay.
There is a license on the YouTube video, so I could probably only just play that one part. But you can hear it pretty easy. Go listen to Shaka Khan like Sugar to get a... but you can hear it a little bit. It's great. It's awesome. Interesting to see a song from 1975 like taking a little the great part of it that's admired of it and put it into a new song.
Yeah, it's great.
And also that Shaka Khan is like a legendary musical artist from that era too, right? Where it's like it's not just some newbie taking that cool old thing that's ironic, you know?
Right.
It's like, no, I remember this song from 1975 and I knew for the bass line it was great and it would be great in this song.
Right, 100%.
Like, yeah. So, more controversy on if Sam Wilkes is playing on the track. Apparently, what I've been able to find is that he didn't play. It was just like lazy crediting. According to the chart, it is such on Hello Happiness. They didn't even mention that sample, and they put Sam Wilkes' name instead. So it's strange, even given on, even though it's in the same key. Guess they must have replayed to record. So maybe they. So it either could be that they fully sampled it, or they just had Sam Wilkes learn the exact bass line and then play it. But the world may never know.
Yeah, interesting.
Shaka Khan herself, or her, I would assume her social media team wrote this post.
Cute.
Because I don't know if Shaka Khan would be this.
This is
clean,
detailed.
Detailed. No social media specialist at some music company would make this post. Hell no. But there, if you look at associate performer bass guitar Samuel Aaron Wilkes on the song Hot Like Sugar, but that's where the controversy comes. It comes from the Fatback band,
right? Interesting.
Which is a song called sorry, I know we're new at this here. Are You Ready? Do the Bus Stop.
Interesting.
Yeah. So interesting topics here. There was another thing that I found in the Vulfpeck Reddit group this week that
Oh man.
when I found it, I went the podcast makes itself. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You can just pop in to any little nook and cranny of the Vulf sphere and have stuff to talk about.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is great. Sam Wilkes' Bananas was this post 2 years ago, and it takes you to now. It's going to get. I wish the Scary Pockets were more like Vulf in that you could show their stuff without getting claimed, but it takes you to them playing.
Right.
What is it? The Ed Sheeran song, Shape of You, and Mr. Wilkes is playing on the bass here. Which I'm going to mute it and show you that people have been kind of talking about that he's just copying Joe Dart.
Yeah, he's doing the same head movements as Joe.
Right. But I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to accuse somebody of copying somebody
player.
when he's a bass player.
Right.
And a lot of bassists do head and neck movements like this. But
so, yeah, if you guys are throwing shade on this guy for copying Joe Dart, stop and go practice more.
shade.
Stop commenting. Go practice, and then maybe you could be as good as Sam Wilkes, who just so maybe happens to look like Joe Dart. Screw off with this BS, huh? Come on. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. But the controversy follows.
Okay.
Sam Wilkes' Bananas, great. And then we move to this great post on the Reddit group. IPYF comments here.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing, and no offense intended to you for doing so. We're already starting at a great place. But I think that I have a new least favorite band. I know that some of these cats allegedly have serious pedigree, so chucking around vehement criticism might seem rather small of me. But this band gets 2 of the biggest possible thumbs down for me. Don't know how you can get bigger than thumbs down. But
yeah, I don't know either.
yeah, that's I love how like smart this guy's trying to sound.
I know, right?
Fuck off.
He's trying to sound like Dr. Seuss. Like, brother, just say what you're gonna say.
IPYF. It stands for I piss you off. No,
my
piss you
gosh.
fucks. I don't know. I don't know. And we're moving on. They're clearly mostly music school graduates because beneath the obvious competence, the music is oozing with deliberate calculation and total lack of character.
I mean,
it's
get what
wrong
he's
and
saying.
right. It's wrong and right. He's talking as if subjective art interpretation is truth, which I despise in a way, because like he's just saying this based on his surroundings and his perspective.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody who came from a different perspective would have a different thing. That's something we've learned on Conscious Club Podcast 17 with Justin Wright, is that it's art. It's subjective. It's not objective.
Yeah, of course.
And it continues. I think the nastiest part is that they're so desperately trying to steal Vulfpeck's thing.
Not really.
But they don't have a single idea of their own, so they're just taking the most popular songs straight from the charts and performing them in the style of the most currently popular funk band.
So I strongly disagree with the Vulfpeck part, but I agree with the rest. So like I don't really think that they're trying to be like Vulfpeck, to be honest, because Vulfpeck only did a very slim amount of covers in their entire history, including Fearless Flyers. Like Vulfpeck really isn't a cover band for the most part.
Right.
Except for their occasional what's it called, their wedding set, like at the end of their live performances.
Right.
Like, okay, so and then in Fearless Flyers they had 2 covers, and they did Boogie on Reggae Woman.
Right, so it's obvious that Vulfpeck
live.
covers stuff.
Yeah, but it's rare. And like,
right.
So what are they really taking from Vulfpeck? That this was recorded on camera and it was put up on YouTube? Like, what's the Vulfy aspect?
Well, here's the thing. It's like, it's an approach to different approaches to distribution, right? Scary Pockets is taking the route of machine gun. You know, just literally shoot things out
every single week.
Boom, boom,
every
boom.
single week.
The opposite of the like Vulfpeck's on one end of the scarcity spectrum, and Scary Pockets are on the complete other end. But they're in basically the same county,
what
the same
genre?
state, right? Of funky, music school funk, resurrection, right? It's like a resurrection of the funk bands of old, right?
But I hate to say it, but like I don't really consider Scary Pockets funk. Like it's not. I don't think it is. Like it's not. Like the whole part of funk is that it has a life to it and it has a soul and it's original and
no
it's
life?
like
No soul?
It's no, to me Scary Pockets has no soul. It's taking, like it said, top top chart, like top hits on the chart. It's taking pop music and then it's doing a cover
of it,
doing a cover that's a little bit different. But in a lot of ways, a lot of these covers that they're claiming that is funk, it kind of has a reggae feel, or like little bit more of it has a different flavor to it. But to me, it's not always a funky flavor. It's not always funk.
Do you think that they're devaluing funk music by calling it funk?
In some ways, yes.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting because I definitely like their chops are insatiably better than most. Their just approach to it is like I feel like this need, like when I see their content, I feel like them clamoring on like they're playing on the numbers. Like if we do enough of them, one of them will hit. And make and catapult us above Vulf. Now, I guess that's not what they're trying necessarily to do, but catapult them into a Vulf, the level where Vulf's at or beyond. But I don't necessarily think it's working, because like I love that the members are ever evolving, but it's almost too much to where I only know Jack Conti or JC, as we mentioned, and like maybe one or two other
people. The Asian
people.
guy, the small Asian guy.
Oh, okay.
The singer.
Yeah.
He's on a lot.
But it's like there's, and I don't know enough about the Scary Pockets, but this is just based off my limited watching of them so far. It's just like every video I see, there's like 5 new people I haven't seen before in the video. Like there's too many people, and the core members. There's
like 3 that are mostly core.
I just see Jack and everyone. Not JC, Jack Conti, not JS, but JC.
I do think it's cool that they are giving a platform for up and coming vocalists and singers to like have like a bigger kind of platform, because they do get a lot of views and response from, and they have a good audience. So like that's really great for these singers and up and coming vocalists. So like that's a great thing that they're doing. I like that. But at the same time, like I just feel like it's not really a band. You know what I mean? Like there's no band vibe. Like it's not like, oh, there's blah 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 on the bass, there's blah blah blah. And maybe that's because I'm not a Scary Pockets fan, but I feel like it's more of just like a shell. Like a name.
I way relate to that.
Yeah.
I relate to that a lot, because every time I see them, I'm like, this is fine and all, but like it's inherently lacking something. It's inherently lacking personality
and
right?
originality. Personality and originality. Like,
dude,
like there's no original songs. There's no original. I'm sorry, but in order to be a band, you have to create something. Yes, we all take something from, you know, from this artist and this group. And yet that's what Vulf is. Like, it's an amalgamation of all these different groups, but like, you have to create something new with those things that you're taking from other places.
Does it seem lazy to you?
It's lazy, and also it's like, okay, how can we get a lot of views? How can we get response? How can we? It's it's like the BuzzFeed of music.
Oh,
isn't it? It's the BuzzFeed video of music. Shots fired on the Conscious Go podcast, but it's true.
I used to work for BuzzFeed, so it's probably would have a better.
It's the same formula. Like the BuzzFeed formula was like, okay, this works, right? It's people trying a different kind, a food that they've never had for the first time. It's basically people taking a popular song and making it funk, but it's really not.
I blame it on JC's Jack Conte. I blame it on JC's innate entrepreneurism, because he is the owner or CEO, president of Patreon.
Yeah, I think
so. I do. Maybe it's this. Maybe he can't spend the amount of time that he wants on this music, but still wants to record music. So it's that much quicker of a turnaround time to go, hey, here's a song that's already created. Let's funkify it in our own way, feature the members that would be right in it, and then keep going. Maybe he's just a busy guy and can't allot the amount of time. I mean, here's the thing. Would you rather have that exist than not exist? I think so. Like, I think people like it, and like it could be someone's favorite cover of a song that they love, and I don't want to take that back from anyone. So I do appreciate what they're trying to do. I think that it's not. It could be less. It could be more scarce. Mm-hmm. And I need to change the battery. I think it goes along exactly what we're saying here. So Chuck I on the Chuck I is his name on the Reddit post that we're talking about here. I can see where you're coming from. There seems to be a rise in college lab funk project aesthetic. Vulfpeck and Snarky Puppy being the first two that come to mind.
I don't really find Snarky Puppy to be funk, but okay.
Oh my God, we're diving in deeper into the shade here. You know, don't lose every one of our audience members.
I don't. Sorry.
But we'll continue. As to YouTube making them famous, well, that's the model that worked for Jack Conte before. So I see this as him doing it again, or continuing to do it, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I find the postmodern jukebox cover pretty tiring myself. And I speak as someone who has a plethora of genre covers in my own iTunes library, from the pickin' on bluegrass covers to the various edgy band as Kid Lullabies type covers. So I do get what he's saying. Yeah. That it's tiring, and it's like it's the opposite end of scarce. You need to be more scarce. Bump up the scarcity.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Jack Conte. I think Jack, he's very much, and not our JC. Jack. Yeah, so JC, I think he's very into, like, we need to have content. Like, we need to have a schedule. We need to be pumping something out every week. Right. Like, it has to be regular, and like, you know, and like that's fine, but at the same time you're pushing yourself to have so much content and so much stuff to put out that you're losing all originality, and you're losing, you know, the whole special aspect to what it being a musician is or being a band is.
That's great. I think that's where we can leave that for now. I did want to, since we're on the topic of Snarky Puppy, PAC member John posted that the folks that said check out Snarky Puppy were right. Show at the Fillmore in Philly last night was fantastic. Thank you, John, for that. But this spawned 23 comments, most of which the heated discussion that was happening here. PAC member Matthew saying Snarky Puppy is arguably more talented than Vulfpeck, and that is my only exception. I know. Then Ben replies, I would say on a group level they are geared towards making more harmonically dense and rhythmically challenging music, but individually, people like Corey, Joe, and Joey are in a similar league. And Matthew nods to that. He agrees 200%.
Yeah.
Adrian contributes that Michael League is an absolute monster composer. I think that Joe, Joey, and Corey are on that
He said, I don't think
that Joe, Joey, and Corey are on that level at all. I think Corey is well on that level. Yeah. Corey Wong is, dude, if you haven't, this guy definitely has not listened to motivational music for the Syncopated Soul, because the songwriting in that is intensely awesome and nuanced.
And also, I think Joey as well. Joey is a monster. Are you kidding?
Oh, Mr. Joey Dosick is maybe...
I don't think he's listened to Joey's music, though.
Adrian, go listen to Inside Voice and shut up. Don't ever comment on the PAC again.
Also,
because this triggered me.
Also, too, Vulfpeck covered Joey. That's how amazing he is. They
making strides here.
Yeah.
Just preach.
Yeah, I mean, Joey, he did Running Away. He did
game winner.
He did game winner, and then Vulfpeck covered it because Joey's such an amazing songwriter and such an amazing composer that they covered him. So I definitely. I think Joey and Corey 100%. Now, as far as Joe being a composer, I don't know because I have no idea what he's composed or written. For what I know, he's mostly a musician and mostly, plays his instrument, but he has the technical chops to also 1000% stand right there with Snarky Puppy, in my opinion. Like, he's one of the best bassists in the world. Are you kidding me? For his age group?
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, like Corey Henry and Joe Dart, like completely on the same level.
Yeah.
Because Corey Henry is a fucking intense beast.
Oh, 100,000%.
On the keys, everything.
No, Corey he's
and like
amazing.
I would argue that Corey Henry is better than Woody and Jack combined.
That's a statement.
That is a statement here on the Conscious Club podcast. But I don't care because this is all subjective. It's not objective. It's not truth. This is just my feeling. Every time I hear Corey Henry, I'm like, how the hell do your fingers move like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Alexander bringing it in here on the PAC, the next comment. Pretty sure Ben meant their chops.
Yeah, I agree.
Not their compositional skills, though Corey's and Joey's tunes are fire.
Yeah, I agree because he put Joe in that lump, and I don't really think Joe.
No lumps.
Yeah.
No lumping.
0 lumps.
You lump? And then Mikhail posting here, Ben, not in a million years, buddy. No disrespect to Vulfpeck, but Snarky Puppy is in a league of its own. Even on an individual level, Corey Henry is eons ahead of Woody and Jack on the keys. I kind of agree. Mark Lettieri is eons ahead of Corey Wong. That's arguable. That is very, very arguable. I would not say that is true. Joe Dart is probably the only guy who can match them, both skill-wise and musically. Besides, both bands play different genres. Yeah. Funk, again, no disrespect to funk, is similar compared to jazz. Progressive jazz, even if Snarky Puppy calls their music pop. And then Joe comes in here and says, but none of them are as good as Kanye West.
That's funny.
He's a god, so and John, he's a true genius. So I love that this comment thread just went fucking on fire, and then it's
that meme where it's like, well, that escalated quickly. It's that meme for sure.
And then Joe and John just threw water on the fire and just ended the conversation.
Yeah, love that. There's always those people in the family that have to like pipe up and like.
And it has nothing to do with what's happening.
Just to like make a joke and make everyone
It's just a
stop.
punctuation mark. Whatever. Well, this is a good conversation starter though. I think that's I love the musicians in this group have such differing opinions, but also really good perspectives on what they're coming from. Some of them are dead wrong. Some of them better than others. I must say. Yeah. Some of them trolls. Some of them not.
True that.
But nonetheless, enticing conversation. We haven't even gotten to the thick of it because this Lizzo post this week. We haven't even gotten into heated conversation yet because we're getting political here on the Conscious Club podcast. Not necessarily voting political, but socially political here because this sprung heated debate.
Yeah, this whole thing like confused me. Like I don't understand why she. Yeah.
Right. So Donovan posted, "Pack, do we need to have a talk about animal spirits?" ? This was a caption on Lizzo, a screenshot of Lizzo's tweet, which was in response to another person saying that at Lizzo is my spirit animal on Twitter, and then she replied back, not thanking her, not going, thanks for being a fan, you're the reason why I'm popular now. No, she decided to take a different route, and said that the term spirit animal is offensive to First Nation and Indigenous tribes. But look, girl, I love that you feel like I'm your inner self. Love yourself. Mwah. Okay, so
first of all, it's First Nations, not First Nation, but okay.
First Nations.
It's First Nations.
Right. And you actually can say that.
Yes.
Right? Well, explain to the people.
Okay.
Before we go down this rabbit hole.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm Native American, and I saw this post and I was highly confused because as somebody who's actually Native American, I have never once read or heard or took offense to the term spirit animal. I actually say it in my regular life, and I have no problem with people saying it. Now, if somebody said you're my totem animal, that would be a totally different thing. Because
you're my totem pole, girl.
Get up on that totem pole, girl.
That totem pole.
If someone said you're my totem animal, to me that's has more indigenous connotations to it. But spirit animal,
use that.
Exactly.
I don't think even people who are racist would be even smart to know what a totem pole is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, also, this term is not in a negative light. It's literally going, look, like, your spirit animal is code for, like, I get you. You get me.
We're the same.
Like, we're the same. Yeah. Like, I get I get energy from you. Like, it's a reason to live. It's not like, fuck all these natives.
Yeah, 100%
it's the
no.
Complete opposite. And also, to bop this on the head a little bit more, this was originally posted by the International Indigenous Youth Council, and the comment here is even worse than Lizzo's comments. It says, "Lizzo setting the record straight. Really wish y'all would cut it out with all this spirit animal stuff already." And then 2 facepalm emojis. Interesting, because I don't know about the IIYC, but I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
but this spawned some comments.
To be honest, I was kind of like more offended that Lizzo was standing up for an indigenous issue, and she's not even indigenous. That to me was more offensive than her talking about the spirit animal thing. Do you know what I mean?
And
you know what I mean? It's kind of like when white people pipe up for black people, and it's like, girl, you have no idea what the experience is. Why are you piping up? Yeah. You know what I mean? Or it's like when white people are like,
tribes bad too.
Not necessarily.
It seems almost more slurish than say like indigenous tribes. Like it sounds more slurish than actual spirit animal.
No, not necessarily. Okay. No.
Okay.
No.
But
it is First Nations. It's First Nations.
But spawn some comments here. Steven says, animal spirits is an economics term unrelated to animal spirits, which we'll learn later.
Spirit animals, you mean.
But which I did not know this week. It's good to uncover some Vulf lore, but let's continue with the controversy. Drake says, Saying something is your spirit animal is offensive because I need something to be mad at this week. Love that.
So weird. I've never heard somebody being offended over the term animal or spirit animal.
No shame in realizing the error of your ways and trying to do better. Pack member Eric. Nothing there.
No.
And then Zach coming through here. Go away, Lizzo. Go away.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying.
Right. And then I love Jake. Lizzie Marasco is my spirit animal. I love her. Roy, the indigenous tribes are my spirit animal. Love that. Here we go. Jameson. As a member of the First Nation, indigenous tribe, I
love how you put First Nation in parentheses because it's not First Nation, it's First Nations. That's funny. Love it.
Jameson says it's all good. No one's broken up about you saying something is your spirit animal. It's not okay. It's a non-issue.
Yeah.
No one cares unless they work for the ACLU or something.
Yeah.
20 likes on that, by the way.
Because it's true.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, Vernon saying, exactly. People are making this ish up to prove how socially conscious they are, but they don't know what
she doesn't know what she's talking about, like, at all.
Right.
So it's, like, annoying.
Right. Oh, geez, wait till Lizzo finds out that it's actually indigenous peoples, not tribes.
I do agree that that's more of a PC term. Indigenous
tribes, peoples. Oh, okay. So I kind of.
But we are they are tribes.
But it does sound.
It sounds way more.
Sound better.
Yeah.
I think tribes in native language is fine, but like the word tribes just sounds like. It is a lower
It's
thing,
because people connotate the word tribal to mean maybe less, I guess, civilized, which is like, a super colonial bullshit thing.
Right.
But that's probably why tribes kind of
because they were
off
more
like
civilized than. No, I'm saying like natives were way more civilized compared to the colonials.
Yeah,
definitely.
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%. Yes.
Even though we were brought up to, as Americans, to not think that. Yeah. Which is a mistake. But Anthony coming in here, this type of thinking is cancer. Love that.
Kind of love
Anthony,
that.
We love you. First Nation and indigenous tribe have too much self-respect to be concerned with such vapid nonsense. Love you,
yeah,
Rick.
1,000%.
Jeff, Alexa, how do I delete someone else's post? I love that. Calling to the admins. Jeff provides some quality content to the pack. I've seen that name multiple times. Same with Danny Wood. We love you, Danny. Ozzy coming in. What a load of shit.
Love
and
that.
I'm just
the
assuming,
Ozzy Osbourne accent.
Yeah, what a load of shit, huh?
Sharon.
But here's where we're getting to the thick of why we're even talking about this at all, because I don't even think it's worth mentioning other than that it is controversial. It's cool to hear about a little bit and kind of we flesh out what we think about it, and then you kind of formulate your thoughts listening. But we're getting to the meat of learning something about Vulfpeck. So animal spirits. I love the way that Jack kind of names things where it goes over your head the first year you listen to it. And because I did not know that animal spirits was a economics term.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So we're going to go into it. Pac Member Brandon says animal spirits is offensive to Keynesian economics, which is great because this is the next thing that we're going to learn. I'm working on my FM radio speak. But according to Google, animal spirits is the term John Maynard Keynes used in his 1936 book, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money, to describe the instincts, proclivities, and emotions that ostensibly influence and guide human behavior and which can be measured in terms, for example, consumer confidence. So very interesting term here. Now, what does that mean?
Girl, I don't know.
I know. So this is why I love Jack so much, because he is essentially he's a scholastic man, much like the people he surrounds himself with, and I admit that I am not close to that at all. I went to community college. I went to a state school for film. Basically, it was because I love multimedia, video, film, and audio, and radio, and all this stuff that learning about economics was taking a back seat to art.
I took one middle school econ class, so that shows how much knowledge I
know
have.
supply and demand.
Oh yeah,
I know that.
supply and
I've
demand.
heard Keynesian. What? Man,
Supply and
you got
demand.
things, people want them. Hey, that's how the world works.
I know basic capitalism. That's literally all I know.
Right.
But I feel like
pump a lot of sugar, put it on a shiny box, sell it. Mm-hmm. There'll be demand.
Sweetums.
I
feel like there's so many Easter eggs relating to like econ that I feel like Jack has a huge interest in that, which is riveting, aka not, but I respect it.
Right. So we're on the Wikipedia page of Animal Spirits, Keynes, and this is what the original passage by Keynes reads as follows. And I'm sorry for all the reading this episode. I know it's a podcast, but I think, if you're listening, you could get a lot from this because we're learning too along with you.
Yeah.
We have no idea what the hell we're learning here. So let's dive into it. The passage by Keynes reads as follows. Even apart from the instability due to speculation, there is the instability due to the characteristic of human nature that a large proportion of our positive activities depend upon spontaneous optimism rather than mathematical explanations, whether moral or hedonistic or economic.
You fucking lost me. I'm sorry. Listen, Jack Stratton.
I'm Jack Stratton.
Listen, I love you, but like, I don't care. Like, I love the song Animal Spirits, my freaking jam, like one of my top faves.
She jams to it.
But like all this econ bullshit, I'm sorry you lost me, but I respect you and you're so smart and that's why we love you. But this Keynesian stuff is
Keynesian.
See, I can't.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So here's some like little quotes. It says, "Then what do you mean by putting it there?" roared Mr. Downing. "Animal spirits, sir," said Smith. "What? Animal spirits, sir?" Love that.
Why do I feel like this is like a part of like a bit that Jack has done, like for stand up or something?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that Jack points to an Easter egg that it's the iceberg, right? It's the tip of the iceberg. It's something that went over your head and you just took for whatever it was
on the daily.
And
he's the king of that.
Right. And then even when you find an iceberg, you're kind of like, well, right.
Did it really need to be uncovered? But we respect that it was put there.
No, I get it because it's very Jack.
Yeah,
it's supply and demand. It's the Tony Robbins at TJ Maxx prices. It's
I'm done.
It's
right.
He's mincing garlic,
not his words,
and not his words. One thing on that too, the way he said that at lock-in, you brought this up yesterday, I think.
Yeah, you didn't seem to understand.
No, I completely didn't understand. It says, "And I mince garlic, not my words." I thought he was saying
that was a comma.
Right. Well, it would be a comma in this scenario as well, I think. In the scenario that I originally thought it was. I thought he was saying that somebody else said that about him. Right? "I mince garlic." Separate thought. Not my words. Somebody else, somebody else said that. That was a quote. He was quoting somebody else. Much like William Montgomery on the Kill Tony podcast. But you brought up that it's a saying.
It's a common saying.
That. Yeah.
It's, I mince garlic.
I mince garlic,
not my words. Yeah.
Which basically
I don't know. Actually, that's not the saying. The saying is I don't mince my words, or don't mince your words is the actual saying. So he added the garlic Whole Foods plant-based aspect. He added the vegetable aspect,
right? Which
is very Jack.
The garlic aspect is not in the quote. No. He minces garlic because it's a play on words.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's a technique to chopping up garlic. It's mincing.
Is it referring to the economy of word use? Like the efficiency of word use?
No. Mincing your words is is not being blunt and offensive, kind of.
Not being blunt or offensive.
Yeah.
So being delicate or like
Kind of.
approaching something with caution.
Yeah.
No,
Everything's very well planned.
Now that I know that,
He's not mincing his words.
100%.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, for sure. But that ends kind of the meat of the podcast before we dive into the last two segments here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to change the batteries and we'll be right back.
Sounds good. We'll kind of have to make it a quickie because it's already 2:30. Yeah. Make it a quickie. What, boo boo?
We're already over an hour
Yeah. Emo. Oh, cute. Yeah, we'll have to make this quick, but.
Alrighty, we are back. And ended that lecture of Keynesian economics. I think we went into that a little bit too long. I thought I was going to be way more enthused by what I found, but
No, I think it's really cool that there was an Easter egg that we didn't know about, which is always interesting to find.
Right,
But,
and
but
it's
the
in
Easter
plain
egg
sight.
itself was a snooze.
it was.
I mean, riveting to know that there was an Easter egg, but once you crack that puppy open, I mean, talk about a Xanax. I mean,
Wow,
out,
honey.
I mean, I was knocked out on that one.
And you know, I do want to mention that this was in plain sight for years.
Plain sight.
Plain sight.
But you
Couldn't
see,
be more plain.
But you see,
this sight.
animal spirits is I feel not a obscure enough term to know that it would be an Easter egg. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I guess I get that.
Animals,
I get that.
like it's not like the song wasn't called Keynesian or Keynesian or whatever the fuck.
It's Keynesian.
Keynesian. Like that's not what the song was called. So
Right.
it wasn't that obscure to even know that it would be an economic term.
Right. Damn it. Fuck.
Lord have mercy.
Sorry, guys. Let's go on to Soft Parade and notable mentions this week. This guy has been insane. It's incredible what he can do with his feet and his arms.
Yeah, this guy's crazy, huh?
Incredible talent this guy has.
Do we know his name or no?
I don't. I'll put it on the screen.
Okay, good.
Let's see if I can do the octaves here. Here we go.
Good job, Mom. Your face. I'm on the rails.
I love Soft Parade so effing much. It doesn't even like begin to fathom how much I love that song. But notable mention here on the pack, and that was whoever I said it was on the screen. So thank you, whoever you were. But also, this was Miles Jasnowski's guitar cover of Disco Ulysses with a little nod at the end that I really wanted to look at. Awesome solo that this guy made.
He's dead inside, and then all of a sudden,
I'll spare you the piano cover.
looks like a baby Cory Wong if Cory Wong had curly hair.
If Cory Wong was
Fluffy hair.
if Theo and Cory had a baby, that beard.
So true.
Oh. He's got a very Theo style, but a very Cory talent.
His mom is like, "Come to dinner, Jamie, Miles."
And he was like, yeah, dinner's ready.
Yeah.
That nod, though.
Mama's pot roast for dinner.
Look at
I'm gonna go eat some
what's that?
potatoes.
Do you see that? Those eyes, though. He's like, look at these ladies coming
Maybe I'll get
in
some
after
ladies.
this. What's up, Jack Stratton?
I'm gonna go eat some pot roast now.
Is it, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, how you doing? What the fuck? Love this guy. Also, this guy made a video long ago. Dr. Miles Jasnowski, groovologist.
Dr.
Do you or a
Miles.
loved one experience the following symptoms? Did you lose a little pep in your step? Did you hang up your dancing shoes? Burned out on Post Malone? You may be suffering from Groovis Lackamus. Dr. Miles Jasnowski, AMA
is
certified
cute.
groovologist,
Aw.
is here to help. Since 2018, Dr. Jasnowski has been helping clients around the world regain the groove in their life. Listeners
Solved his
everywhere are
problems.
ecstatic about the work of Dr. Jasnowski and his team.
Dr. Jasnowski literally saved.
Sitting in
Oh,
the
he's
background.
creepily sitting in the back.
May have
It's
been
cute.
affecting you or a loved one. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Jasnowski and his team on May 10th at the Zoo Bar in Lincoln,
Cute.
Nebraska.
Without Dr. Jasnowski, I don't know what I would do, who I would be.
Why is he soaked? Oh, that's why.
Please text Miles to 484848. That's
Love the
Miles to
old school-
484848.
That's really cool that he made that.
As seen on TV thing.
But like adds the
It's
modern
a real thing
iTunes
too.
thing.
You can actually text that number.
Really?
Yeah, and he does sell like a program.
That's great.
Like-
That's really cute.
or at least he did at this point. I'm pretty sure.
Groovologist.
Love that.
Love that.
Also, animal sorries,
Oh yeah.
which is a great thing that happened this week.
Great. That's a reach.
Okay, well you don't think so, but I do.
I don't like the matchup.
It's off at some points, but at others, it's right on. Yeah, it's way late. It's way late. This
I
verse.
hate it. It gets better later. That's bad. No, it gets better later. Like, I think it's the verse that it gets good. Yeah, this is when it gets good. This is when it gets.
Oh, dope.
They should have started with that because the beginning part is
Right.
not okay to me.
I agree.
Yeah,
He
this
should have
part's
cut
better.
to the chorus there
Yeah,
because it's like it's still the verse.
yeah.
I love how the triplets work so well.
Yeah, agreed.
Just me, just try. Is it too late now to say sorry? Now it's on beat. Just to your body.
Yeah, it's a little bit better now.
Is it too late now to say sorry? This is my jump rope song.
Nah.
So.
Fine now.
Now, when it's properly placed, it's a dope
When
song.
it's yeah, the right spot, it's good, but in general, no bueno.
All right. And then pack member Matthew says this has no business working so well. Notable mention. This is a workshop with Joe Jackson's touring band with Graham Maybe. And this is him saying, giving a little nod to Mr. Joe Dart here. Let's pull it up at the right place.
Fast, there are some people like Jacko. Do you ever hear Jacko do Wipeout? Da, 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 da. It's like ridiculous, I mean, it's like beyond human ability or something,
Oh, yes. Continue watching. What are you, Netflix?
There's a bass player I really like called Joe Dart.
Hey.
Vulfpeck.
Vulfpeck, right. Yeah, he's
Thanks,
like
Tori.
that. He's just like got such a facility with his fingers.
Facility.
So that's where the pick comes from. But and I've had sort of snobby people say to me, "Well, real bass players don't use a pick," and I'm like, "Have you ever heard of Paul McCartney?"
Shade.
Right. I gotta say, I'm on the pick side of bass. I'm sorry. I know I just lost the respect of most of our listeners, but I like bass because I can get precise on the rhythm, but also I think that means that you can't be precise on the rhythm with your fingers if you primarily use a pick, which I think is a talent that is overlooked often.
Right.
Because I think
Especially
a lot
for
of what makes Joe Dart so prolific is that he doesn't use a pick, and that
he's
he's so precise.
Yeah.
Right? He's as precise as going do 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 do.
Right. 1000%.
But yeah. Notable mention here on the Conscious Club podcast. We got two more notable mentions here. Pack member Nina's clothing line.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Hat that says practice, a little sweatshirt that says practice, and then you got the circle of fifths.
The square of fifths, we shall say.
The cycle, shall we say, of fifths on a tote bag and on a shirt.
Cute.
I love it.
She has great taste. I think everything looks fantastic.
Right, and you'll probably be seeing me wear.
Yeah, he really wants some. So Nina will be hitting you up.
Right. Oh yeah, you're gonna get the Conscious Club's advertising money, which is 0.
We might have to end it with this because I have to roll out in about 18 minutes and I have no makeup on.
Gotcha. That's completely fine. I think I'll rend up Funny Funk alone. I'm gonna try something new. Okay. So this last one.
Oh yeah.
For your exit here on the show.
I remember this. So cute.
I love the kid clutching. What is that? Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Or is it a pillow?
Might be.
He just pulled popcorn out of his pocket. So whatever.
So cute.
This kid is like.
This little kid is so into it.
He's got the stank face.
Yep.
Little kid's got the stank face. Yeah. This is at Board. Tennessee.
His parents. Cute.
This is at BORJACTANESI on Instagram.
He's great.
Amen. All right, Tori, we'll go ahead and get ready.
Yeah, I have to leave in 18 minutes.
And if you wouldn't mind pressing record one more time on that camera, we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys so much.
Right.
And thank you for joining us for another week on the Conscious Club podcast.
Thank you. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's go into Funny Funk and round it out. Would you mind panning the camera so I'm like a little centered? Yeah, that's good enough. Great, thank you so much. Tori, everybody. The Conscious Club podcast 23. Have a good one. Yeah, all right. Funny Funk. All right, guys, so I found this. The pack member Levi here, the Corey Wong convention, which is great. That spawned a comment. I think it's time for an intervention. Pack member Zachy. Great stuff. Also, the Captain Hook thing was very interesting. I don't know why the dumpster at my school says Captain Hook. I just know it does. And then it says, could it be a pack member Dan saying, could it be that Captain Hook is garbage? That was like 28 times. Giorgio, I mean, it's as good as a confirmation as we're gonna get. And then Mike, how dare you? I love these back and forths. It's funny, at first, pack member Mickey here, I had to stare at this for like a minute before I realized that it's just 1612 here on the bottom. The comments here are great. This guy fucks. I love it. Cheeky fucker. I love that. Torges. Love you, Torges. Matt, tons of hooky gibberish in there. I think that should have that was warranted more than 5 likes. That should have got the 20 like the other one did. Also, we got pretty funny stuff here. Jeff Goldblum reacts. This is Charles Cornell, who has made multiple appearances in the form of content on this show in the past, and he's back again with
why do you think
some Jeff Goldblum.
is such an important part of the MCU? Because there may be a little divorce happening.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Save Spider-Man?
I'm crestfallen. Say, what's happening? I didn't know any of this.
So Sony and Marvel are having a hard time coming to terms on the agreement to co-produce Spider-Man. So it's looking like Spider-Man may go back to Sony and not be part of the MCU anymore.
Jeff Goldblum does not want anything to
I'm
do
not a
with this.
business person. You're speaking. Whatever you say is Greek to me. But all these, the
It's
mountains
it's surprisingly musical.
and I don't know. It'll all work out, I'm sure. Good luck. I'll figure it out.
And then maybe more Jurassic World for the third.
I can't say anything, but I can't say anything. I can't say it.
Who's your favorite Disney princess? Not me.
Besides you, let me see. Well, I do like
I love his facial.
part of their world. What are those things called?
Oh, this is
Yeah.
getting into
Feet.
it. I love Tori's blinky meme on that video. Beautiful. This was obnoxious that I found the Septix, whatever this is. This guy Sebastian Tixador. Now, if this guy was my neighbor, I would be quite upset. Great musician, great things going on, but I'd be more like, shut up! Trying to have stuff over here. Come on, huh? Sebastian, again with the guitar solos, huh? I don't know. Tori's just like shaking your head in the bathroom, getting ready right now. You love that, Tori? But obnoxious. He had good chops. Just a little obnoxious. And for our fellow neighbors to Sebastian, there, I feel your pain. I wanted to say thank you guys for listening, and I want to round it out again by saying if you like what you're listening to, if you like what we're doing here, just tell a friend, tell a like-minded individual, because we're doing this for free. This is actually costing money than making money. We're not here for the money. We're here to learn about Vulfpeck, about everything that they're trying to allude to us. So I say thank you guys for listening, and Corey Wong is going to take you out. I want to say thank you to all our fans, Danny Wood, Ice T Blaster. I forgot your name. I'm sorry, but I know your handle on Instagram, Ice T Blaster, as well as L Carroll. Who else was it here? Sorry. Let me bring this up. I want to give credit where credit is due here. And I bought a refurbished iPad, so the screen doesn't really work that well. But it's, yes, Usakri, Yusakri on Instagram. That's Danny Wood. Ella Carroll on Instagram, Ella_Carroll. Leanne Katari, LeannKaattari. At Nick is in Paris on Instagram. At Believe in Number City, a band, I believe, if I'm correct. Sorry if I'm wrong on that. And at the North 41. As well as our homie Adon 37, Mr. Aiden McClave, who's been on multiple episodes of the Conscious Club podcast, most notably number 10, The History. No. The number 10 is the guy in red. I'm so sorry, guys. Whatever number is The History of Jack Stratton to the Layman. It's a great episode. Go ahead, go back into the archive and take a look at that podcast. But I'm going to take you out with Corey Wong, and thank you guys for listening, and have a great week. Until next time.
Hey everybody, Indy here, and thanks for watching the Conscious Club podcast. Please be advised that this is a fan-made podcast. Even though we would love nothing more, we are not associated with Vulfpeck, Vulf Records LLC, Vulf Productions Inc, or any associated acts tied to the greater Vulf umbrella. We do this show out of love, not for monetary gain. We simply wanted an outlet like this to exist, so we made it happen, and I hope that's okay. Thanks for watching, and always remember, fee fi fo fum.